My wife begged me to take the fall for a crash her ex caused. If you love me, you'll do it. I called the cops and handed over my dashcam instead. They cuffed them both. I, 35M, turned my wife and her ex over to the police 3 hours ago. I'm still rattled. Hands only just steadied. Here's what happened. We've been married 4 years. Met at a mutual friend's barbecue. Dated 2 years, then tied the knot. Everything felt normal, or so I believed. She's in marketing, around $58,000 a year. I do IT support, about $71,000. We bought a modest place together 2 years back. Her ex moved back to town 6 months ago. College boyfriend. Supposedly an amicable breakup. Now he's a rising star at a pharma company, clearing 6 figures. She said he reached out to reconnect as friends. I wasn't thrilled, but I didn't want to be the controlling husband. They grab coffee now and then, lunches sometimes. She'd sprinkle his name into conversation. His big project, his new Audi, his fast-track career. Always a highlight reel. This afternoon we were heading to her sister's for dinner. She asked if we could pick him up. His car was in the shop. Fine. I was driving my Honda Accord. I installed a dashcam last year after someone backed into me and took off front and rear cams, super clear video. Best $200 I've spent. We scoop him up. He slides into the back seat and immediately gripes about how cramped it is compared to his Audi. Great. 10 minutes in, my wife's mom calls. They dive into family drama. My wife asks me to pull over so she can pace and talk. We're on a residential street. I stop. She steps out, wandering the sidewalk with her phone. I'm scrolling while I wait. The ex in back says, "Hey man, I'm moving up front, more comfortable." Fine. He gets out, walks around, and opens my door instead of the passenger side. Actually, I'll drive. You look beat. When's the last time you took a break? I tell him no, I'm driving my own car. He pushes. Come on, I'm a great driver. Just let me take over. It felt wrong, really wrong. Then my wife finishes the call, comes back and backs him up. Honey, let him drive. You've been working so hard. Just relax. The tone. The look. I didn't want to make a scene with him there. Stupidly, I got out and took the passenger seat. My wife sat in back. He fiddled with the mirrors and seat, then drove faster than I would, taking corners hard. I was uneasy but didn't want to nitpick. We approach a 4-way stop. A car's already stopped to our right. He barely slows. Rolls the sign. The car to the right starts through the intersection. He floors it to beat them and loses. They hit us on the passenger side, right where I'm sitting. Airbags explode. Glass, metal, chaos. Slow motion and warp speed at the same time. I'm dazed. Ears ringing. My arm throbs from slamming the door. The other driver, an older woman, stops about 20 feet away, holding her head. The ex is spiraling, oh God, on loop. From the back, my wife, "Are you okay, baby? Are you okay?" It takes me a beat to realize she's talking to him, not me. My door is jammed, so I crawl out the driver's side. The woman in the other car is shaky but standing. I call 911, give them the location. My wife's checking on the ex, who's pacing and raking his hair. He mutters, "I didn't see her." I swear I didn't. She says, it's okay. The other driver approaches. Are you all right? What happened? I start, and the ex cuts in. It was my fault. I was driving. I didn't see you at the stop sign. At least he owned it, I think, until he pulls me aside while my wife talks to the woman. Dude, I need a massive favor. What? Tell the cops you were driving. I laugh. No, listen, I have a DUI from 2 years ago. One more hit and I lose my license. I could lose my job, my entire career. Please, just this once. I tell him he's insane. I'm not lying to the police. My wife walks over. What's going on? I say. He wants me to say I was driving. Her face shifts, cold calculation. Would that really be so terrible? Am I hearing this? She goes on, think about it. You have a clean record. Nothing serious would happen to you. He could lose everything, his job, his future. He's about to be promoted to regional director. If this gets out, I cut her off. I don't care about his promotion. Don't be selfish, she says. Selfish. for refusing to commit fraud. The ex jumps in. I'll pay for everything, your car, her car. You won't spend a dime. Just say you were driving. No. My wife grips my arm and drags me farther away. If you love me, you'll do this. I stare at her. What did you just say? She says, he's important to me. We have history. I can't watch his life implode over one mistake. You can take this. Nothing will happen to you. But he has a future. I ask, and what do I have? She snaps, don't twist my words. You know what I mean. Do this for me. Prove you love me. Sirens grow louder. I say no. She glares. I repeat, I'm not lying. He was driving. He rolled a stop. He caused the crash. That's what I'll tell police. You're going to ruin his life, she says. He ruined it himself by driving recklessly. 2 officers arrive, plus an ambulance. They check everyone. The other driver declines the ride. I do too, even though my arm aches. The ex claims his neck hurts. Medics check him, he's fine. The officers start statements. Who was driving? The ex and my wife go quiet and look at me. I breathe, point at him. My wife gasps. He goes pale. Sir, were you operating this vehicle? The officer asks. He stammers, then says yes. License and registration. While he fumbles, I tell the other officer I have front and rear dashcam video. Everything recorded. The officer raises his brows. Including him getting into the driver's seat? Yes. My wife squeezes my arm hard. What are you doing? I pull away, pop the SD card, hand it over. It's all here. They head to the patrol car to review it. My wife follows me, hissing, how could you? Do you know what you've done? I say, told the truth. You've destroyed everything, she spits. He'll lose his job, his license, everything. Good, I say. Good. You vindictive, spiteful. An officer calls us over. They watched all of it. Him insisting on driving while I said no, him blowing the stop, the aftermath where they tried to pressure me. What I didn't know, his license was already suspended. That DUI? He never finished his court-ordered classes. License suspended for 8 months. He's been driving illegally. Also uninsured. They arrest him on the spot, driving on a suspended license, reckless driving, causing an accident, no insurance, multiple charges. Then they ask my wife to confirm events. She lies, claims I offered him the wheel, that it was my idea. I tell them to check the dashcam audio. It caught everything, her backing him when he asked to drive, and both of them trying to get me to lie. They arrest her, too, for conspiracy to file a false report and attempting to obstruct justice. I watch them load each into separate cruisers. One officer tells me, you did the right thing. If you'd lied, you'd be facing charges too. All 3 of you. He explains the report will be sent for insurance and that my dashcam video is key evidence. I go to the station for a formal statement, 3 hours of questions and rewatching the footage. They keep the card as evidence. I get home around 9 p.m. The house is empty. Her car's in the driveway, but she's not here, still being processed, I guess. My phone's blowing up, her mom, sister, friends. What happened? Where is she? Why isn't she answering? I haven't replied. I'm bruised, head pounding. My marriage is probably done, but at least I'm not catching charges for something I didn't do. Small mercy. Update 1, 3 days later. She posted bail the next morning. Her parents paid. She let herself in around noon while I was working from home. I walk out to find her making coffee like it's a normal day. We need to talk, she says. I just stare. She actually looks annoyed. You had me arrested. I say, I told the truth. You tried to get me to lie to police, because it was right. Do you understand what you did? He lost his job, she fires back. Fired yesterday. They called him while he was still in jail. His whole career is over. I remind her he was on a suspended license, uninsured, and could have killed someone. It was one mistake, she says. No, it was several. And she helped. She says she was trying to support someone she cares about. Present tense. I ask if she's sleeping with him. She hesitates. Just long enough. Then, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. I say she asked me to commit a crime for him, called him important, Talked about his future being more valuable than our marriage. She denies it. I tell her it's on the dashcam audio. She goes pale. You wouldn't. The police already have it, I say. It's evidence. She drops into a chair. Oh God. I ask her to explain. Why ask me to take the blame? She says because she knew I could handle it. I'm stable, responsible, nothing sticks to me. But him, he's fragile. His ego, his career. I couldn't watch him fall apart. So I'm the safe, boring husband who can absorb the hit, and he's the thrilling ex who needs rescuing. She tells me not to make it about that. What else is it? I ask. When you had to choose, you chose him. She says she'll stay at her parents' for a few days so we can cool off. When things settle, we'll figure it out. I say there's nothing to figure out. I'm filing for divorce. Don't be dramatic, she says. Dramatic? She was arrested after trying to make me commit fraud for her ex. I panicked. It was one bad decision. You can't throw away 4 years over that. Watch me. She leaves, tires squealing. I call a divorce attorney that afternoon, recommended by a friend with a messy split. We talk an hour. He's blunt. I'll lose some assets. The house is marital property. She gets half the equity. Joint savings and any retirement earned during marriage split 50-50ths. He estimates she'll walk with around $80-90K. The criminal case hurts her credibility but won't change asset division much. It'd matter more in a custody fight, but we have no kids. He tells me to file for irreconcilable differences and not to drag the criminal stuff into the divorce unless they do. Keep it simple. He sends paperwork. I fill it out that night and file the next morning. She finds out 2 days later when the process server shows up at her parents' place. She calls, "You actually filed?" Yes. She thought I was just mad that we'd talk. There's nothing to discuss, she made her choice. She says he means nothing. She just panicked. I remind her she said he had a future worth protecting. What about me? What about us? She begs for counseling. I tell her she asked me to commit a crime for another man. There's nothing to fix. Then her mother calls. How dare you abandon my daughter in her time of need? I say she abandoned our marriage when she tried to make me lie. She made a mistake. She's under stress. He manipulated her. The dashcam says otherwise. You're hiding behind that footage like a coward. A real man would. I hang up. Her father calls, more measured. You're being hasty. Marriage is work. I tell him this isn't a rough patch. It's a priority check. He warns the divorce will cost us both. Am I sure? Yes. Her sister unleashes a novel-length text about me being heartless, dumping her over one tiny mistake, and that I was just looking for a reason to leave. Blocked. The ex posts bail too. His wealthy parents cover it. His lawyer's angling for a deal. Common enough, my attorney says. Meanwhile, the other driver hires a lawyer and sues him for her car, medical bills for whiplash, and emotional distress. Her insurance is also pursuing him for their payout. Because he was uninsured, his parents will likely foot the bill, easily $40,000 plus, maybe more if the medical side escalates. My insurance is covering $8,300 in repairs to my passenger side. I pay my $500 deductible. They'll subrogate against him. Good luck extracting funds from an unemployed defendant with a record. I hear he's moved back in with his parents. 34, no job, no car impounded, no license facing charges, all because he couldn't own his mistake. And my wife torched our marriage trying to shield him. Her hearing is next month. Her lawyer's trying to plead it down to a misdemeanor, probably workable for a first offense. Likely probation, some community service, a fine. A wrist slap. But it'll show up on background checks and could ding her career. Play foolish games, win foolish prizes. Update 2, 6 weeks later. The criminal case is wrapped. She took a plea. Misdemeanor attempted false report, 1 year probation, 80 hours community service, $1,200 fine, no jail. It's now on her record. He fared worse. DUI history plus suspended license plus uninsured crash equals they threw the book at him. He initially refused a plea, banking on an expensive lawyer. Bad call. 3-day trial. The dashcam footage was the star. Him pushing to drive, him rolling the stop, him trying to get me to take the fall, my wife backing him. Guilty. Sentence: 6 months in county jail, 3 years probation, 5-year license suspension, $15,000 in fines, plus the civil cases. The other driver settled with his parents for $60,000. My insurer is still pursuing its payout. He's serving time now, out in August. My wife has been relentless about salvaging the marriage. She showed up 3 weeks ago. I'd already changed the locks. She tried her key, knocked, and I opened with the chain still on. "We need to talk," she says. "We have lawyers for that," I reply. She begs for 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I let her in. She takes the couch. I stay standing. She says she's in therapy, working on codependency, trying to fix broken men from her past. I tell her that's great and I'm glad she's getting help, but we're still divorcing. Why? If I'm fixing the problem. Because the problem isn't just a tendency, it's that when things got hard, you chose him over us and you tried to crush me in the process. She says she wasn't trying to destroy me. I remind her she wanted me to lie to police, take points on my license, risk losing it, spike my insurance, face legal exposure. Also, her ex wouldn't face the consequences of his own behavior. She says she hates herself for it and that people make mistakes. I tell her to stop calling it a mistake. Mistakes are accidents. She spent 30 minutes deliberately trying to manipulate me into fraud. That's a choice. She cries. Says she loves me and showed it wrong. I tell her I don't believe her, and even if I did, it wouldn't matter. I can't trust her. If things get tough again, will she throw me under the bus? I wouldn't, she says. You already did, I say. Once was plenty. She leaves in tears. Nothing changes. Her lawyer pivots and claims she was coerced by the X months of manipulation, telling her I held her back, that she deserved better, isolating her. They try to paint her as a victim. My lawyer produces text messages. Months of flirty exchanges. What if we'd stayed together? Secret meetups she hid from me, complaints about me. Not quite an affair, but close. The narrative collapses. Mediation is tense. We sit with our attorneys and split the life we built. House appraises at $340,000. Mortgage balance, $215,000. Equity, $125,000. Split evenly, $62,500 each. She can't buy me out, so the house goes on the market. Savings, about $31,000, split to $15,500 each. Retirement. I accrued roughly $85,000 in my 401k during the marriage. She gets half, about $42,500. She has about $45,000. I get half, $22,500. Cars. We each keep our own. I keep the Accord after repairs. She keeps her Camry. Furniture and belongings. We make a list and divide it. I keep the TV and console. She takes the dining set from her parents. Tally. She walks with roughly $143,000 in cash and assets. I end up around the same. Her lawyer pushes for spousal support. Mine shuts it down. Similar incomes, only 4-year marriage, no kids, no go. They drop it. The divorce will finalize next month. We already have an offer on the house. $348,000, slightly over appraisal, closing in 3 weeks. Then it's over. 4 years dissolved. $143. Her family won't quit. Her mother calls from new numbers, leaving voicemails about how I ruined her daughter's life. I didn't. Her own choices did. Last week I answer an unknown number, thought it was the realtor. It's him. Calling from jail. He wants me to drop the insurance claim. I laugh. He says his parents are going bankrupt. My insurer's after $8,300. Just drop it. Your car's fixed. I explain my insurance paid and is entitled to recover from the at-fault driver, him. He says he's lost everything and asks how much more we want. I tell him I want to be left alone. He pleads again. His parents are elderly. I say he should have thought about that before driving suspended and uninsured, and before trying to pin it on me. He calls me a piece of work. I remind him he's the one calling from jail and hang up. Blocked. My lawyer confirms I couldn't drop it even if I wanted to. The claim is between him and the insurer. I'm just a witness. Update 3-4 months later. The divorce finalized 2 months ago. House sold. I got my $62,500 equity share, plus my halves of savings and retirement. I moved into a modern 2-bedroom downtown, about $1,400 a month. It's small, quiet, and mine. She moved in with her parents, temporarily. It's been 3 months. A mutual friend says she's struggling to rent. Background checks flag her record and landlords balk. He got out last month. Back with his parents, no job, no license, and a felony on his record. My insurer wanted judgment. His parents are paying $350 a month. It'll take about 2 years. The other driver's $60,000 settlement drained a chunk of his parents' retirement. My ex is dating again. Saw it via mutuals on social media. New guy, looks younger. She's calling him her soulmate at 6 weeks. Good luck to him. Her mom mailed me one last letter, forwarded from the old address. Pages about forgiveness, faith, and how holding grudges poisons the soul. She says her daughter paid her debt and deserves a clean slate, that I should let go of anger. I'm not angry. I'm done. I tossed the letter. Work's going well. Got promoted to senior IT specialist, $83K and better benefits. Boss said I've handled stress with leadership. He didn't mention which stress. Didn't need to. I've started seeing someone met at a work conference. She's in cybersecurity. Smart, funny, and not preoccupied with rescuing exes from their consequences. I told her the broad strokes early. She asked if I was over it. I said yes. Good, she said. I don't date men still hung up on their exes. I'm not. Sometimes I think about the alternative, no dashcam. His word against mine. If I'd caved and claimed I was driving, I could have been the one with charges, a suspended license, insurance fraud fines, maybe jail, a wrecked career, a stained record. And she probably would have left anyway once the ex didn't live up to the fantasy. That $200 dashcam saved me. The divorce cost me about $143,000 in assets plus $8,500 in legal fees. Pricey, but worth every dollar not to stay married to someone who'd sacrifice me to save someone else. I don't regret anything. I told the truth, turned over the evidence, and let the system do its job. She made her choice. He made his. They're living with the fallout. I'm living my life. That's enough.